Okay, so here we have the hole that I've made, and I've managed to find the tunnel. So I'm going to get my trap and set it, and I'm going to place it into the hole. You want to make sure that you have no space down either side of the trap, because then the mole can easily go around it instead of through it. There's a great big rock in the way here, so you want to make it as compact as possible. You also want to make sure that this bottom bit here is around 3/4 of an inch from the bottom of the ground. You don't want it touching the ground. As I said before, the moles don't go through the circle, they go underneath it. So you want that tiny gap. So I've patted all the bottom of the tunnel down. This is actually a tunnel here, a tunnel here, a tunnel here, and a tunnel here. So this might be a good one. So I'm going to put my trap in. I'm going to take my probe and I'm going to set the trap off. And that's just showing me that there's enough room for the trap to go off. I'm going to pat it back down again. Okay, so I've got my trap all set up. I know that it can go off. It's narrow enough so the moles can't go either side of the trap. I'm going to place it in. I have roughly 3/4 of an inch off the bottom of the ground there, and then I'm going to use this grass and soil to cover over the top of the trap. If you do need to fill in the walls either side, then just use a bit of soil from underground, not the top bit here but underneath, and pad it in nice and tight to make it fit. Just going to take some of this off. You don't want to compact it too much so that the trap can't go off. Okay, so I'm going to put these, it's a bit too big. Put this bit over here. Bit there, bit of grass. What I have found is that when you do set them on really rainy days, I'm never usually as successful, and I think this is because the water drips down into the hole and it becomes flooded, and the moles don't like that. Okay, so moles do have eyes, but they can't see very well. They mainly just see light. So we need to make sure that we cover all this area with extra soil. So that no light is going into the tunnel. Okay, so I'm going to use this soil off the molehill to cover up any gaps that there might be, like so. I'm going to knock this molehill down, so then when I come back tomorrow I'll be able to see what molehills are new. Okay, so generally leave it for 12 to 24 hours or 48 hours. I generally check mine every 24 hours, so I'll come back this time tomorrow to check this one. And then if it hasn't gone off, I may leave it another 24 hours or I may move it, depending on where the new molehills come up. So it is better to set them on sunnier days, where fields you don't have any cattle or sheep in. You can also get a bucket and put it over the trap to stop any cattle or sheep from stamping on it, but I don't bother with that. All I use is an orange pole, and I put it around 1 metre away from the trap to remind me where the traps are, as I do have 10 around the farm. So I shall come back tomorrow and hopefully there will be a mole. Fingers crossed.